understand that your patterns show up in your presence. It starts to show up on your face. It starts to show up in your posture, where you can literally be minding your business, walking anywhere, and someone who doesn't even know you can read that confidence on you and can see that you're the type of person ultimately that they want to work with. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and I do all the things, but I do it because I'm passionate about helping you be successful online, build a successful business, and really create the life and the finances and all the things that you ultimately dream. However, I know I say that and people get really frustrated because they're like, easy for you. I've been working on building this business. I've been doing all of the things. I've been pitching myself, and girl, these clients are still saying no. Are you experiencing that? If you're experiencing that, it's okay, because in today's video, we're gonna have some tough love, right? So, grab a glass of wine if you need to, or get your coffee or whatever, pull up a chair, because we're gonna talk about the real reason your prospects and your potential clients are saying no. And I can tell you right now, it's not what you think, right? It's not because your website wasn't perfect enough. It's not because the name of your program is not catchy enough. It's not because, your branding is not perfect or any of these things. It's something deeper than that. So if you're interested to learn why your prospects are probably saying no, if you're struggling to land clients, stay tuned, because we're gonna get into it right now. Okay, the real reason your clients are probably saying no is because of your energy. I know. And I know that sounds kind of like woo-woo and esoteric, but really I just mean the way you come off, your presence, your confidence. Do you come off like a person who can help them get from point A to point B? And in fact, I talk about this in my video, which I share here, which is all about the number one thing you must know when it comes to sales. And I'm really surprised that people don't talk about this, but I kind of share that in that video as well. But really, our energy is more powerful than we think. The presence that we give off is more powerful than we think. In fact, when we are disciplined, when we are confident because we achieve our goals and we complete things in a very subtle way, it shows up in the way you carry yourself, in the way you walk, in the way you talk, and people can really read it. They can really sense it on you. And I literally experienced this firsthand not too long ago, a few days ago actually. I was at the mall, I was looking for a dress for myself to take my husband out to dinner to celebrate his birthday. And I'm minding my business, and I wasn't dressed like in super fancy, like ultra designer clothes or anything. I think I had a cute top on and some jeans or whatever, but I just literally was not even browsing the mall. Like, I had come to the mall, I knew exactly which store I needed to go to. I was on a mission. I was walking to get there, and this woman stops me and she's like, I just wanna make sure you don't work in the mall, right? I'm like, no, I don't work in the mall. And she's like, I had to stop you. And she basically explained, and I won't share the name of the company, but she is a new marketing director for a new brand that I would say is an upmarket brand, but they're looking to rise to a higher level, maybe to be on par with brands like Saks and Neiman Marcus, because they're not quite there yet, but they're an upper market brand. And so she was looking to put together a focus group and maybe even find brand ambassadors, essentially women that embody the ethos of where this brand is trying to go. And so understand, this woman didn't know me from Adam, right? Like, didn't know me for paint. I didn't even know she existed. I was just minding my business on my way to go to a particular store. Again, I was not dressed in, Gucci down to the socks, like nothing like that. I wasn't in super designer clothes or anything. I was just me. I looked like how I look now, and I was just walking in the mall. And the number one thing she said, she was like, it wasn't your clothes per se, even though she's like, you look cute, girl. Like, I like your jeans and your top. And I'm like, thanks. But she was like, it was your walk. She was like, I could just tell the way you carried yourself. You seemed like you were focused, like you were on a mission. I just knew you were the type of woman that we would want in our focus group. And so when we started talking, that's when she found out, like, oh yes, I'm actually a business owner. I have a large social media presence. I have a following. And she's like, I knew it. Like, I didn't know that you had all those things, but she was like, I'm really happy that I listened to my intuition and I stopped you, because you're exactly the type of person that we want for this focus group as this brand is looking to elevate. And so I share that as an example that if that could happen to me when I'm like literally minding my business, walking in the mall, trying to pick up something, understand that people are picking up things from you all the time. And so what people don't realize is that in order to have a confident demeanor or a more commanding presence, or just the way that you carry yourself, this is years of doing right by yourself, right? So for me, the confidence that I have now comes from years of backing myself when no one was looking. I tell my story all the time about how I had a full ride engineering scholarship and lost it, and I had to learn about personal development in order to not only get my scholarship back, but graduate, pay off credit card debt, start a business, et cetera, et cetera. And those are very hard times when I was insecure about what I was doing, and I wasn't sure that I could actually achieve my goals and pull things off, but I kept putting one foot in front of the other, and I backed myself. I've done this, I remember when I first had my son, and I was working with a lot of one-on-one clients, and because I was pregnant and just tired and trying to manage being a new mom, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to carry that load of one-on-one clients, and so I had to let a lot of my client engagements roll off, and my revenue took a nosedive because I didn't have any other group coaching programs or a lot of other products to, recoup a lot of the revenue I was losing by not having one-on-one clients. And it got to the point where I had 2 US full-time employees that I actually had to let them go in 2018. It was an extremely embarrassing time for me at that time in my business. I had quit my job in 2016. At the time, I had my best year in 2017. And, I'm doing all this stuff on social media. And then I was like, oh my goodness, we're at a place where I have to let my, my staff go. Like, how did I get to this place in my business? But again, I backed myself and I did what I needed to do in order to get my business out of that place and get it to where it is today. And so I share this because whether it's the demeanor that I walk with or the confidence that somebody else has or the presence that any person has, understand that your patterns show up in your presence, right? So the way you show up in the world, your patterns that you repeat behind closed doors when no one's watching, if you know that you need to be working on something, but you're always, going to bed, or you need to be focused on something, but you're always procrastinating, or you say you're gonna do something and then you go back on your word for yourself, or maybe you're joining programs, you're putting deposits down, and then you're saying, oh, just kidding, I'm not gonna go forward with it, and asking for refunds all the time for things that you signed up for. Understand that those are patterns, and those patterns show up in your presence. And so when you are now looking to engage with clients, they're reading you. You think it's all about like, oh yes, I have a great brand and I can help you get from point A to point B, but people are reading your whole presence and they don't know it consciously, but those patterns are showing up, those patterns of incongruency, those patterns of lack of discipline, those patterns of not honoring your commitments and not backing yourself. Again, when it's hard, when it's difficult, when you don't know how you're gonna make it, when you don't have any reason to be confident because all the things you've done in the past didn't work out. Again, backing yourself and putting yourself forward, as you do that, it starts to show up on your face. It starts to show up in your posture where you can literally be minding your business, walking anywhere, and someone who doesn't even know you can read that confidence on you and can see that you're the type of person ultimately that they want to work with. So I put it in the title. I said this was going to be a painful discussion of why your prospects are saying no, but I need you to really think about what patterns might be showing up in your presence that are ultimately repellent to people who are looking for a leader to lead them to where they want to go. Because at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is ultimately about leadership. Coaching is ultimately about leadership. I cannot say this enough. So many people get into this game, they get into this industry because they want to do it strictly for, self-interested motivations, right? And there's nothing wrong with wanting to quit your job, wanting to build a business, wanting to make a lot of money. That's fine, but understand that your clients aren't hiring you because you want to quit your job and because you want to make a lot of money, right? Your clients are hiring you because they need help with what they have going on, and they need someone who not only knows how to get from point A to B, but someone who knows how to back themselves. Because if you can back you, then you can back me. And oftentimes people aren't sure the way forward, and so they're looking for that leadership and they're looking for that accountability, and they're sensing it on you in the way that you show up. And you might think this doesn't apply because you're running an online business and you're like, well, I'm doing discovery calls and all this is on the phone. Understand that it comes across in the tone of your voice. It comes across in the text that you're putting on social media. Just the way you are, it's so subtle. But I promise you, because I've seen it played out over and over again, people can pick it up on social media. They can pick it up even between a screen. It's just a natural thing that we have as humans in terms of our connecting with other people. So if you're wondering why these clients aren't saying yes before you go on a tizzy looking for various sales scripts and sales training programs, not saying that any of those things are wrong, right? I have a course that provides a sales script that is very helpful. Understand that none of those things are gonna work unless you fix this first, right? So think about your patterns. Just just be honest. What are some patterns that we need to correct, that we need to turn from negative to positive, and how can we make sure that we are doing that so that those patterns are showing up in our presence and it's coming across as power, right? Not procrastination or fear or any of these other things to the prospects that ultimately want to work with us. So I told y'all this was going to be a rough video, but hopefully you took it to heart. And if you are really serious about showing up in power, you really I really want to master all of these things, I really invite you to join me in my signature coaching program. It's called the Next Big Name Bootcamp. We go in depth about who you are, your core. Like, yes, we teach you all the marketing stuff, landing pages, check all the boxes, all of those things. But we teach what most courses don't teach and what most coaching programs don't teach, which is a lot of this deep inner core work, this leadership, which is why it's called the Next Big Name, because if you master this, you will be light years ahead of other coaches who are just strictly focusing on like the window dressing, but not the real substance of what it means to be a leader in this industry and to truly build a coaching business. So if that's something that is of interest to you, go ahead and click the link below in order to apply. And if you are someone that we feel that we can help, someone on my enrollment team will go ahead and set up a call with you, and then we'll walk you through the process. But with that, if you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you want even more, make sure you're listening to my podcast where I share more life lessons like this. And if you want even more between my videos and my podcast, make sure that you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.